Thanks for joining us for another episode of Boom and Bust. I'm your host, Tony Clement, here at the News Forum where all voices matter. Today, we delve into the world of ESG, or environmental, social, and governance, as a concept and as an issue. ESG has certainly emerged to be a central occupation for governments, advocacy groups, and not the least, corporations. As demands for corporate accountability change and grow, ESG is now at the center of the debate. Joining us to discuss are three people with important perspectives. Jocelyn Bamford is the Vice President of Automatic Coating Limited and the founder of the Concerned Coalition of Manufacturers. She also hosts her own very successful News Forum show, Canadian Innovators. Bryan Gould is also joining us. He's the President of Aspenleaf Energy Limited. And last but not the least is Rick Perkins, who is a Member of Parliament for South Shore St. Margaret's in Nova Scotia and the Shadow Minister for Innovation, Science and Industry. Welcome to all of you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
First, Jocelyn, I'm gonna ask you right off the bat, can you give our viewers a working definition of ESG?
So ESG, we're seeing right now coming pushed down to us as a small business from large corporations and from the government. So it stands for environmental, social, and governance. And in there is just a full basket of things that they want us to do as either a supplier or as a business. And a lot of it hasn't a lot to do with providing the best products at the best price. It's very much for social justice, for the environment, which we look after anyways as a course of doing business. But there's so much in this basket that makes it difficult to operate a business as a small business person in Canada, let alone that we have to compete against product coming in that doesn't have any of these standards thrust upon us.
Right.
So it makes it very difficult to compete with offshore products, and it makes it very difficult to run a business in Canada. And it also, connected with this, is now the financial institutions that are trying to roll this out as a course of doing business. And when you peel back the onion, you find out that there are some dark forces behind some of this that really make it an area that makes it difficult for democracy and capitalism and free market enterprises to compete, because there is a lot of coordination of big corporations and the financial institution along with the government that try to push this out.
And I think we'll be using this program to peel back that onion, just as you suggest, Jocelyn, but thanks for that. Bryan Gould, any additions you want to make to what Jocelyn has just said?
I guess what I would add is I think ESG is some good concepts that have been hijacked and taken off the rails. And in my mind, what really matters is corporate governance. So governance, in my head, is the umbrella that stewards a company, and under that you consider social factors, relationships with your communities, environmental performance, and profitability. And there's an endless number of trade-offs between those. The issue I have with ESG is it's kind of a central planning model where it's prescribed, what are the good factors and not the good factors. And I'm a strong believer in free market economy and board of directors governing companies and seeking their own unique balances.
Rick, we've got a minute before the break. Has ESG sort of crossed your threshold yet as a member of Parliament? Have you encountered this?
Yes, it's creeping into everything. And it's an extension of a concept that started in Europe years ago called stakeholder governance, where actual people who aren't owners of the company are actually allowed and required to be on boards. And I think that's a problem. To me, the businesses should be run by the people who own the businesses, whether it's the publicly traded company or board of directors. ESG just furthers that interference. Good companies will take into consideration in a competitive marketplace the needs and the desires of their customers, or they'll lose customers. And if those subjects which ESG covers are things that will drive people away from you, then the governance, the natural governance and competitive forces will deal with altering the products and the offerings for that. So I think it's big brother government, and we're seeing more and more of that in Canada.
All right, we're going to delve further into this issue, but after the break, please stay with us. We'll be right back.